So I'm sure you've heard me say a lot that frequency separation is not just for skin. And I'm going to give you a quick demo of that because technically leather, or in this case, pleather, is like skin. It's almost exactly like skin, right? And retouchers of all kinds, it doesn't matter what you retouch. If you're a commercial retoucher, you use frequency separation all the time to separate frequencies so you can manipulate it. So while texture on a leather jacket usually looks pretty cool, sometimes there might be some folds or creases that you don't like and you want to either minimize or completely remove. So this line right here, right about in there, I want to kind of mess with that. But I'm not completely clear as to what radius I want to use. And that's where FC3 comes in. So I'm going to start something sort of, sort of tight. How about like a 3? Okay, on median, we're going to use median as our blurring operator because I think that works the best for this specific situation. Let it run. And then what I'm probably going to do, I could use the mixer brush on the low layer. I could do a lot of things, but I think I'm going to use a brush on the transitions layer in between. I'm going to try to blend some of that area in there and just kind of see what happens here. So I kind of selected a little lighter color. There's a darker color. As I'm doing it, I feel like the 3 radius is a little bit tight. Still trying to create a bit of a blended look. Nice big soft brush. But I'm starting to feel super fake about this because the 3 is way too tight. Yeah, 3 is way too tight. So with FC3, I can just go to like a 12 right now. Probably a little bit high, but I'm going to experiment with it just to show you. There we go. Let that finish its process. And there we go. Now a lot more texture showed up and it went from this to that. Cool. I can still keep working with it, of course. Maybe bring in some of the darker. There we go. And just kind of reshape pretty much anything. Just anything I feel like I want to minimize. I can just kind of bring those tones around. Not really a whole lot of color in this, obviously, but just a little bit, kind of reshape the leather. And I can scale back the opacity as well, of course. But I can play until I get the exact texture. So there's the original. That's what I'm working with. Let's say 2 was too tight and 12 was too much. How about a nice 8? Let's see what 8 does. Hit play. Again, that's the hallmark of FC3 is that reprocessing. So let's take a look here. And 8. Ever so slightly, probably didn't even see it on the video, but I don't mind that so much. And then if I want, I can change the opacity. So there's like an 80, 85% maybe. From that to that, let's zoom out, see what we see. That's not bad. That's not bad. But see, you can play with it until you get the look that you want. So here, if I made it like a radius of 1, now that you're zoomed out, you make it like a radius of 1, and it will obviously be too tight. Yeah, see that just looked like a blurry spot. And if you bring it up, maybe like a 10, that's the beauty of it. So you can do all the work you want to do in terms of the smoothing out, and then you can really dial in the exact texture that you want, and 10 looks so much better. See that? Yeah, that made a big difference on the shoulder. Now that, again, I'm not saying that's the vision for the shot. I like the texture of the leather, but keep in mind, this will work on denim. This will work on any fabric of any kind, to be honest. It'll work on concrete, frequency separation in general, not just FC3. FC3 makes things a lot easier. That's cool. And it makes it more flexible, but don't forget, frequency separation is for any textures, any frequencies. And that's just one example there. So I keep doing that, excuse me. So while yes, leather is arguably skin, I know, but it's still a texture. And I want you to, I just want to make that clear. You see texture of any kind and you can separate it, to varying degrees with the radius and the blurring operator selection, which we have videos about. And you can manipulate that texture in any way you want to smooth out a leather jacket if that's what you wanted to do, or any other fabric or things like that. So just want to share that with you today.